Stafford has his sights set on his first ever playoff win. He's 0-3 in the postseason. A loss here would match Andy Dalton for the most playoff starts without a win in the Super Bowl era, which dates back to 1966. And Ryan Clark, I think this is an interesting one. As we begin this weekend, and there are 12 quarterbacks that are getting set to play, and everybody else, is there any person under more pressure to win than Matthew Stafford in the NFL playoffs?
Absolutely not. This is the game where the excuses stop, where it's the Detroit Lions excuses, where he never had anyone around him. Matthew Stafford was playing by himself. He's an elite level talent. And if he ever gets in a place where the conditions are optimal, that he would be one of the greatest of all time. Well, this is it. This is time for Matthew Stafford to rewrite his entire career, rewrite his entire history, change the perception of who he's been as a player for over a decade. He has the team around him. He has the head coach, and he was brought here to win a Super Bowl and nothing else. That is the reason that he is the Los Angeles Ram. Sean McVay thought that Jared Goff had gotten them to the height that he could get them, which was to the Super Bowl a few years back. He did not believe he was that same player. He did not believe he could have that same success. He did not believe he could take them past that point. But he believed in Matthew Stafford. He believes in Matthew Stafford. And so for Matthew Stafford, this is the time. It's put up or shut up. It's do or die. And if he does not win this game, we know what we will be talking about on Monday without Dan Orlovsky, because he will be sad or he will be somewhere in a straitjacket in some type of mental institution. We will be talking about Matthew Stafford has failed again, and he's never been the player people perceived him to be.
I agree with every word you said, except a reminder the game is Monday night, so it's Tuesday that we'll be having that conversation. But everything else you said is exactly right. And that's the point. It's not good enough for Stafford to be better than Goff. Stafford's got to be good enough to take a good team to the Super Bowl. So let's pick it. Let's get into it, because this is a fascinating game. Ninko, who wins this game and why? Feel free to take a moment. Who wins it and why?
I'm taking the Rams, and it's because they built this roster to win this year. Mm-hmm. They're not thinking about next year. They bring in the quarterback Stafford that they want. They go trade for OBJ. They go get Von Miller. They have all the key pieces you could possibly think of that a team would need. The receiving core, the defense, they have it. So with that, I think they're going to have a deep playoff run, and they're going to have to win a Super Bowl, honestly. Matt Stafford's going to have to win a Super Bowl for this team to be satisfied. They brought him there to win a Super Bowl, not to get there.
That's the pressure that RC is talking about, and sometimes that helps and sometimes that works in the opposite direction. Ryan, you're next on our screen. Who wins and why?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams. I think that the Arizona Cardinals haven't made the adjustments they've needed to make throughout this season. I know we haven't seen Matthew Stafford do it, but we also haven't seen Kyler Murray. We also haven't seen Cliff Kingsbury. And I think the defensive stars for the Los Angeles Rams have been showing up. And if you want to talk about an offensive player I think you can depend on, it's going to be Cooper Kupp. He's made play after play after play this season, one of the best wide receivers in the game. And I believe that the stars of the Arizona Cardinals won't show up the same way that the Los Angeles Rams will.
Sacho, who wins and why?
I'm going Rams as well. I believe that the last time RC and I were on, we were talking about the Cardinals and their struggles. We were talking about the Cardinals, though, and their struggles and how, man, you might not win another game. You might not make the playoffs. They were in the playoffs, but they lost 4 out of their last 5. And so for me, I think that the Cardinals, though they have talented players, there are still some holes schematically on that defense, and I think that the Rams will be able to expose. And so I don't really believe overly in either team right now at this moment, but I picked the Rams over the Cardinals. I think they'll be able to expose some deficiencies on that defense.
All right, and so I am taking Arizona in this game, and I'm doing it for 2 reasons. One, we've had too many clean sweeps this morning, and I just can't live with that anymore. And the second is, I started thinking to myself, who's the one player who I think can win this game all by himself on the field? As great as Cooper Kupp is, and as great as Aaron Donald, I guess maybe Aaron Donald would fall in that category, but I think Kyler Murray is another one of those guys. And I have been a Kyler Murray believer. I know they haven't been the same team the second half of the season, but this is a team that for the first 10 weeks or so looked like the best in the entire NFL. The whole world has given up on them, so I'm not going to. I've got Arizona. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.